Alright guys, so unfortunately we haven't been able to review as many shoes as I would like, and as you guys probably would have enjoyed as well. But we are going through a very slow time in the sneaker market right now. Ever since the Pine Green Jordan 4 SBs dropped, there hasn't really been anything good to talk about. Luckily my trainer came in clutch as he usually does, and he gave me access to a pair of Clot Clotez's, which I'm sure that a lot of people don't even know exist. But we're going to review something a little bit more on the unique side today. Hopefully you enjoy. The shoe itself is right here. These are the Clot Clotez Nike runners, and I have not really seen many people review them on YouTube, and I don't believe that anyone has actually reviewed this particular colorway on YouTube. So jumping into one of the best parts about the shoe itself, which is the box. This is not a regular Nike box in the slightest. I've never really seen a box quite like this. So looking at the lid right here, you can see that it is both white and black with a squiggle between it. You can kind of see faintly a Nike logo, but the emphasis is on the color change, which symbolizes the yin-yang ideology that the Asian cultures have ingrained into their like morals or whatnot. And with that comes the idea that good and evil must coexist, and there really is no escaping either side of the yin or the yang, whether that be men and women in a relationship, good and evil, or whatever it is that contradicts each other. They have to peacefully coexist. So that is a pretty cool feature right there. On the size tag, you can see that the size tag is very long, and that yin-yang pattern continues throughout. On the bottom, more of the yin-yang. And then on the side, you have these yoga instructors posing in the word Clot, as you can see, C-L-O-T, in like different yogi like symbols. And then on the other side, you have N-I-K-E, which is obviously Nike. It's a little bit hard to tell that they are letters, but upon a closer glance, you can definitely tell that they do resemble letters. On the inside, you just have more of the same Clot and Nike pattern, and then the yin-yang logo as well. And also, something that we will have to get into later in the video, it comes with these inserts, which are for a certain part of the shoe that we will talk about in just a quick second. So, jumping into the shoe itself, on the lateral side, you got the regular Clotez look, but there are some big differences. So as you can tell, there's kind of like a two-layer, two-piece construction. The top is kind of like this slipper feeling like sandal vibe, and then this part is like a regular leather shoe, maybe like a Stan Smith or something of the sort. And you can tell that the Nike logo, the red Nike logo, is like the actual Nike logo that is on the shoe, whereas this blue one is only on this outer shell. It's kind of like a turtle, how there's like an inner shell and an outer shell, and they're both drastically different. On the front you have like a Clot logo along with some white laces, and on the back you have this, which actually serves to tighten the shoe when it is in a different form. So basically the shoe contains two or actually three different shoes in one, if you think about it. So this top piece is like a wrestling shoe, and then this bottom piece is like a house shoe. So that is a very interesting choice by Clot and Nike, but we're gonna get into that in a second. On the medial side rather, you have the exact same deal, just that two-piece construction. And then on the bottom, you have a very clean-looking white Clotez outsole, which will get dirtied up pretty quickly. All along the midsole, you have this blue line right there, as you can see. And with that being said, let's jump into the insole real quick before going to the other shoe. You have this wooden piece inside the insole, which basically serves as a shoe tree, but it's like a shoe stick. That is interesting and something that you don't see every day. Let's jump into the other shoe because I have the shoe tree out and we can take a closer look. So upon pulling the shoe tree out, this is basically what you get. It's just like a crooked stick. Looks almost like a straw that one would drink out of. And if you pull apart the two layers, this is the shoe that you get. Now, this almost reminds me of like a hospital shoe because it is so low to the ground. Like this, there's literally no midsole on the shoe at all. It's just pure upper. There's no blue on this part of the shoe. It's just a red swoosh, a white background, and some Clot logo or some Asian symbol rather on the back heel, Nike on the front. It's a very, very strange looking shoe, and when you hold it in your hand, it's almost like it's so light that you are like surprised by it. Like I almost just dropped it because it's like a paperweight. On the medial side right here, same exact deal as the lateral side. And then on the insole, which is something that we haven't gone over yet, you have a logo of Clot, two yin-yang symbols, and a Nike logo. On the outsole, we got black, white, and red right there. Let's flip it. And then the traction pattern seems pretty unique. I've never quite seen a traction pattern like the one that I'm seeing on the shoe. So that is the upper shell of the Clot Clotez, or also known as the Clotez. I forgot to mention that earlier. So jumping into the bottom part of the shell, you have something that looks even stranger than the top part, because not only is it kind of high off the ground with this high midsole, it's also very low in terms of how much of the foot it covers. It's very not supportive, I would imagine, and it almost looks like a slipper in itself. So there's no Nike logo on this part really, besides the bottom half of the Nike logo. On the back you got the yin yang logo, and then on the front of this slipper you basically have a very like almost paper thin toe box, which is very nondescript. And then on the inside you can see it looks like an unfinished vibe to it, but that is actually for a reason. If we open the box back up and I grab this certain part of the shoe that I promised you guys that we would get back to by the end of the video, this part right here, this insert, is actually designed to be stuck inside this part of the shoe and act as a slipper. So let me see if I can get this for you and show you guys the final product. So bam, there you go right there. That is the insert for the bottom half of the Clot Clotez, and that is how you're supposed to wear it. It almost reminds me of like an orthotic insert that might be put into someone's shoe for more support. That is what that immediately gives me the vibe of. But it's very interesting because I've never seen anything like it. As you can tell, it's raised a little bit off the surface of the top of the shoe, and it does look pretty cool. It almost looks like a Star Trek shoe or something equally as futuristic. this gives this back part an actual function because you can tighten the shoe accordingly once you put your foot in. Unfortunately, these are not my size, but I would love to try them on. And then you have also the size tag right there, which does say size 9. On the bottom, same deal. Same I was told as we went over before. So that is basically every part of the Clot, Clotez, or the Clotez. I think that this top part is probably got to be the cooler part, just because it looks like a wrestling shoe, like something Bruce Lee would wear, which is obviously very, very cool, and it looks like pretty comfortable as well, and probably a pretty good running shoe. So if you guys want these, they're not going for much over retail. They are a pretty sick shoe for what they are, just because it's 2 different shoes, well, 3 different shoes in one if you're counting the mesh together version of the shoe with this and the other part together as this one is assembled right here. If you're judging by this, there's 3 different parts of the same shoe. And for 150 retail, 160 after shipping, that's a steal in my opinion. With that being said, they're probably not going to go up dramatically over time, but the other Clot shoes are pretty sought after. I think these are very criminally underrated and should be rated higher. With that being said, thanks for watching. Take care. Hopefully I'll be able to get more shoes sooner rather than later. I think it's going to start picking up, and I'm also going to have way more free time in May forward. This is a bit of a busy month right now, but thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all later.